Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for April 1st, 2025. The Darkness of Evil, from Job chapter 24, verses 12 through 15. From out of the city the dying groan, and the souls of the wounded cries for help. Yet God charges no one with wrong. There are those who rebel against the light, who are not acquainted with its ways, and do not stay in its path. The murderer rises before it is light, that he may kill the poor and needy, and in the night he is like a thief. The eyes of the adulterer also waits for the twilight, saying, "No eye will see me," and he veils his face. Now, Job here confronts one of the most challenging of theological questions. Why does evil seem to persist unchecked? In these verses, he describes a world where suffering occurs beneath a seemingly indifferent divine gaze. The wounded cry out, the poor are victimized, and wickedness operates under the cover of darkness, believing it remains unseen. The imagery is haunting. Those who are dying groan in cities. Souls of the wounded call for help, yet there appears no immediate divine intervention. Criminals and oppressors move with brazen confidence, believing they can operate beyond accountability. Murderers rise before dawn to prey upon the vulnerable. Adulterers calculate their moments of transgression, convinced no one, not even God, will witness their actions. Yes, this passage reveals a profound spiritual truth. Evil often operates most effectively in darkness, both literal and metaphorical, that is. Those who rebel against the light avoid its revealing, transformative power. They prefer the shadows, where their actions cannot be examined or challenged. The darkness becomes both their strategy and their refuge. Yet Job's description is not a declaration of God's weakness nor indifference. Rather, it's an honest wrestling with the mystery of divine patience. God allows human freedom, which includes the potential for profound evil. This allowance is not the same as approval or ultimate acceptance. The Christian understanding illuminated by Christ provides deeper perspective. Jesus declared, "This is the judgment. The light has come into the world, and people love darkness rather than the light because their works were evil." Our fallen world consistently chooses darkness over light, hiding rather than being transformed. For believers, this passage calls us to several responses. First, we're challenged to be agents of light, exposing darkness through grace and truth. Second, we're reminded that the apparent silence is not the same as divine indifference. God sees, even when we cannot perceive his action. And third, we're called to compassion for those wounded by evil's destructive patterns. Our hope remains anchored not in the elimination of evil, but in the ultimate promise of God's redemptive plan. Christ's resurrection guarantees that darkness does not have the final word. Light will triumph. Justice will be established, and every hidden deed will ultimately be brought into revealing clarity. In a world that often seems overwhelmed by darkness, we are invited to live as children of the light, reflecting God's changing presence wherever we are placed. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others.